everyone. We're Maren and Angela, and this is Homeschool Unrefined. Welcome to our spring and summer 2022 season. This whole season is going to be a treat for you. As some of you know, we've been creating this podcast since 2016. At that time, some of our kids were in single digits, playdates dominated, and we had this idea to create a community around keeping homeschool simple, real, and fun.
For this season, we've gone back through all 5 years of episodes to find those that have been the most loved and downloaded. We've compiled them into a list of our top 20 favorites, and we'll be counting them down for you this season. You are definitely going to want to stick around to hear which episodes made it to the top.
We're really proud of these episodes and wanted to share them because they're at the heart of what Homeschool Unrefined is all about. We wanted to go back and remind ourselves of the work we've done and the community that's been built around these ideas.
You might feel some nostalgia when you hear the old music and our old intro. There will also probably be some old promotions and some links that are no longer relevant. We've come a long way as podcasters, yet the messages in these episodes are timeless.
If you're looking for new episodes of Homeschool Unrefined, join our Patreon community. For just $5 a month, you'll always have a new episode in your podcast feed. We are continuously recording new content and love sharing our lives with you there. Consider joining for $5 a month. You will be not only nodding your head along with us every week, but you'll also find a group of amazing people, plus you'll be supporting our message. You can join us at patreon.com/homeschoolunrefined. Okay, here are our most loved episodes.
You're listening to Homeschool Unrefined. I'm Maren.
And I'm Angela. Let's encourage each other, laugh, and get real about homeschool. Welcome to the podcast where we keep homeschool simple, real, and fun. You've got episode 87, where we make it fun.
Hello, everyone. We are so glad you're here. If you are a new listener, welcome. We are Homeschool Unrefined. We've been podcasting for about 2 years.
Yep,
Coming up on our
almost
second
2 years.
year.
Yep.
And we really just started this podcast because we wanted to encourage parents and help them know that what they're doing is enough. And we do not always need to be continuously adding things to our plate and making everything perfect. We want to just meet you where you are and help you feel better about what you're doing today.
Yes. Yeah. And we put out a new episode every Monday. So we've been doing that almost 2 years, and it's really fun.
It is.
Yeah.
We have fun on this show too. That's the other thing. Forgot to mention that, but we do laugh quite a bit. So
it's kind of what our topic is for today.
That's true.
Making it fun.
Making it fun.
So yeah, we try to do that here.
In general, we laugh a lot though.
Yeah.
Too.
Hopefully not too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yeah. But we're so glad you're here. And to our returning listeners, thank you for always coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we love to hear from you. We love getting to know you. And so we would love it if you reach out to us, comment on social media, or send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah.
Definitely.
And a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. On Patreon, we just started this a few months ago. Yeah. And so if you're interested in supporting us on Patreon, you can get an extra episode per month at the $3 level.
Right. And those episodes are sometimes about homeschool and sometimes about homeschool adjacent things like health, or I don't know. What else have we talked about? Body
We've
image.
talked about marriage,
things like that.
Yep.
And we've also just talked about our favorite podcasts and Instagram follows, and we have some lighter topics too.
Yep. So we do that once a month, and we're really having fun with that because we feel like, I don't know, it's a smaller community. We can get to know people a little bit better, a little bit easier. And it's a little bit less pressure.
Yeah.
To put those episodes out because they're a lot of fun.
And then at the $8 level is we have a few Voxer groups going. In fact, we have several now.
Yeah.
that you get to be a
On
part
different
of.
topics.
Different topics. Yeah. So we started out with just one Voxer group, and it kind of grew. I mean, it grew, which is awesome. Yeah. So we just started like making these different some different subtopics so that we could organize our conversations better. And it is a delight to talk with the parents in there. Our friends now. I think
our friends now. Yeah,
they're our friends.
Yeah. So if you are interested in that, you can go to patreon.com/homeschoolunrefined.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Angela, it's the end of August.
It is.
You know what that means in Minnesota?
State fair.
It's state fair time.
Yeah. The state fair is kind of a big deal in Minnesota. Yeah. I don't think it is in other states as much. I heard Texas has a big one.
Yes. Yeah. Texas has, everything's big in Texas, right?
Yeah. But it's a big deal here, and we live fairly close to it. And so that's even a bigger deal because you see it.
Yeah, we see the fireworks every night from our house.
So I hear the fireworks. Yeah. Every night the kids are like, is it thundering? No. Remember, it's the fireworks.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's funny because I wasn't always a state fair goer, but since having kids, I mean, I used to go a little bit, but since having kids now, I feel the need to go every year.
Yeah. It's so crowded. That's my problem. I think there's a lot of great things there. It does feel a little commercially to me, and it's basically go there and buy stuff.
Yeah, basically go there and spend a lot of money.
Food, mostly on food.
Oh yeah,
unhealthy food.
Yeah, and tickets to get in are expensive.
Yeah, that's true. Although our kids all got free tickets from the library.
Oh yeah,
which helped.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is also means we're not getting out of it. We're going.
Yeah, you have to go.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny this year because you and I both went on the same day. We didn't see each other.
Mm-mm.
We just happened to go on the same day. And then afterwards you were like, I think that's my last year.
I think I'm done. Yep. I think I decided I'm done.
And I said, I don't know, I kind of liked it.
Which is so interesting because we really like to talk about personalities on our podcast too. And I am an ENFP on the Myers-Briggs, and you're an ISFJ, which it seems on paper like it would be the opposite. Like you'd think an ENFP would just love the state fair, and an ISFJ might tend to want to just stay home. Yeah,
I'm a definite introvert. So I do love my inner world more than the outer world. Yeah. But for some reason, I can't figure it out myself why I like going to the state fair.
So interesting. And my husband's the same way. He's an introvert.
And he really likes going.
He really likes going.
He went twice in one day.
Yeah. So overboard.
But it's interesting because I get tired. I mean, I want to go for like 3 hours and then I'm done. I can't do the all day thing.
Oh my gosh.
Some people do that. But I can go for like 3 hours. I have lots of fun. I think I like this is really interesting about myself. I think I like being anonymous in a crowd.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that's why introverts like a busy place like that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Very interesting.
Like, I was hoping I didn't run into anybody I know. Not really. I mean, I would like to see people I know, but also I'm like kind of nervous about it. Ooh, what if I see somebody I haven't seen in 20 years?
And it's interesting. A lot of times you do at the state fair.
Yeah, I didn't see one familiar face. You did?
And, yeah, I did see a friend there. But I mean, I feel like every year I run into somebody.
Oh, yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know. I really liked it. I think it's the same reason I like living in the city because it's like big and there's lots of people, but I don't really know that many people.
Yeah, I get it.
Really weird. Yeah.
There is one part of the state fair that I'm okay with going. So next year if I go, it's just going to this one little block.
The West End.
And I'm just going to enjoy my
blueberry basil area.
My blueberry basil lemonade, and that's it. It is a hipster area. Feels so hipster. Actually, I was thinking this is like for the older people. This is like the older crowd.
Oh, really?
Kind of felt that way a little bit.
Like 30 and up.
Maybe 30 and up. Yeah, it's not like the teenagers kids would not enjoy this.
There's some good music and good shopping.
For me. Yeah.
Exactly. And good food. Like better quality food.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I didn't even.
Here's the thing. I do not want to grow up and like get so set in my ways every year I get older. I don't want to be like, well, I'm getting older now, so I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't want to be that person.
Yep.
So
you're going to have to go next year. You're going to have to make it work.
Oh, goodness. All right. Let's move on to our fun topic where we make it fun.
Yeah. So I realized, a few days ago that because that's about how far ahead we plan. Not really. We have topics planned out, but I realized a couple days ago that we talk about fun a lot. It's in our intro. Keep it simple, real, and fun.
Right.
But we've never actually had an episode on how we make homeschool fun.
You're right.
And so
it's important.
We need to do that because it's really important. And at the beginning of the year, it's the beginning of the year, and I'm trying real hard to make that a priority this year. So because it's on my mind, I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, that's so great. And this is something, like I'm not big into New Year's resolutions or, anything like that. Like we're going to do this
goals.
thing. We're not going to set big goals and make sure we reach them. But this is something I can get on board with.
Yeah. A goal for fun.
Yeah. And it seems frivolous to say that or seems silly. I think it can sound that way, but I do think it's as important as probably any other goal we set.
Right. For sure.
Yep.
All right. Let's start with the why. Why do you think it's important to make it fun, Maren?
Well, I mean, you're asking an ENFP who my life needs to be fun. So, I think it's really inefficient to do boring things. And here's why. Hear me out.
Okay.
I think when you do boring things, when you do things that aren't engaging, I would say, they're just not going to stick. And so you have to spend more time doing them. And then it becomes more boring. And so it's kind of like this ugly cycle of, not fun, not fun, not fun. And it gets, worse and worse. So it just, and the learning just is not going to be as effective.
Right.
I don't think.
That makes a lot of sense, and I hear you. I just want to say, I think there is a just a notion out there among people that, and especially, I mean, I can think of maybe myself. I maybe used to think this, or I can think of people who think this, that if sometimes you have to do things that aren't fun and are boring.
It's so true.
And you have to learn how to do that.
You do have to learn to do those things. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be all day, every day. It doesn't have to be like the majority of what you're doing. Just so you can learn that skill.
It just can't be like a day of doing not fun things all day long.
Right.
We just can't. You cannot. The learning just isn't going to be there.
Right. It's not. So you might be learning how to do things that are not fun, but you're not learning more than that.
But what I would like to teach my children is, yes, you are going to have to do tough things in your life, things you don't want to do. And yet, I want you to find the things you like to do. Find a way to do and to enjoy them. Because if you enjoy doing something, you're going to do it better and longer.
That is so good, Maren. And also, I was just thinking when you were talking, it is good to learn to do things that you don't like to do. But that should maybe be separate from learning and exploring and education. You don't want that to be the thing you don't
remember.
The boring thing that you don't like to do. Because really, I mean, that's kind of how I felt growing up. School was, it's just like a boring thing that you had to get through. Right.
Totally.
But then as you get older, like now that I'm an adult, I'm like, this stuff is so interesting.
Learning is fun. Yeah, but it didn't help to do all the, the textbooks and the things that just weren't working for me personally.
Right.
That's not what made me think learning was fun. In fact, I turned away from a lot of learning because of that. So, yeah, you're right.
Right. Yeah.
It reminds me of this quote that Greta Eskridge just posted on her Instagram. Greta Eskridge was our guest last week on the show. And so she just posted this and I thought it was so great. It's a Finnish proverb that says, those things you learn without joy, you will forget easily.
Yeah.
So, Finnish proverb has it. I think that's very succinct and correct.
Yes, that's so true. That is so true. And yeah, and I think this has been a challenge for me, I would say, throughout our homeschool career. And I'm trying to get better and better at it every year.
Well, I think it's a struggle for all of us because we didn't really grow up, like you said, none of us probably grew up having like loads of fun. And I'm not saying, also, I just want to point out, I think I am not talking about like making a show of homeschool every day so that our kids are completely entertained and, bedazzled all day long. That is not what we're talking about here at all.
No.
But I think we can sometimes fall into the trap where we think, well, it either has to be really boring or I have to work really hard to make it fun. And so we're not talking about really either of those things.
Right.
But we're talking about just like having joy and finding joy and fun in very simple things throughout the day. And even, I think what I was saying was, I think it's very hard for us to maybe transfer into this other way of thinking because we grew up with not so fun ways of learning. And then also even I think curriculum today, even homeschool curriculum, where we have the freedom to do fun things, it's just not always that engaging for kids. So we do kind of have to think outside the box probably. And we have to ask ourselves, what's our main purpose for today? What's my main purpose for today? Is it to get through all this stuff, or, do I want to make connections with my kids and create positive experiences and make good memories?
Right, because those connections with your kids are the key to having a positive experience.
Yeah, exactly.
First connect, then, then the learning.
Right. And I think if those are our goals, I mean, I know we need to have academic goals. I totally get that. But I think if some of our main goals are connection and joy together every day, the learning is going to happen. And when we do it, when we do that, we do the teaching, it's going to be so much more natural and
efficient.
Into place.
It's going to be efficient.
And more efficient.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have more time to do other fun things.
Right.
Yeah. So, Angela, what does having fun in homeschool look like to you?
Okay. Well, I think it looks like a lot of different things. But I think the first thing that I try and do is, I say that like I've been doing this. I haven't been doing a good job at this. So again, I'm trying to get better at this.
Right.
Just keep that in mind. I'm trying to listen to my kids more.
Yes.
About both what they are interested in, what gets them excited, and then also just watching them and figuring out their learning style.
Right.
I would say when I first started homeschooling, 6 or I don't know how many years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, I did not do that. And it was more of like, what were my goals? What do I think is important? What knowledge do I want to impart on my first grader?
Yep.
And then, she could, when we were done with that, like go do her thing later. Like, and have,
as a side
thing, like, when there was time, she could be interested in her things that she was interested in. And
like a goal or a prize or something after you finished the important thing. Yeah. And I used to think that too.
I remember like agonizing because she would play, with the siblings. And they would like doing this like elaborate creative play. And I'd be like, oh no, I need to start school. I need to start school. We need to start learning.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of parents deal with that now. I hear that all the time, and I understand that because I felt that way. So I get it. So I think it's really hard, but it's hard to know like when does the learning happen and when does the play end, or like how intertwined are they, or does this count? And those are really big questions, and it's hard to know. But I would just say with experience, I've learned that her interests, or all of my kids, their interests and their learning styles and the way they take information, it really is it. It really is the meat.
That's the heart of it. Yep.
That's the meat of what we're doing.
It is.
Yeah. And I have to really listen to that because it can make or break what we're doing.
I just need to sit and think about that for a while because that's what I want to remember every day.
Yeah.
Is that my kids' interests and my kids' curiosity is what spurs on learning.
Yeah. More
than my goals for that day.
Right.
And if my kids' learning can be in the center and my things can be on the fringe, or I can just go with them. And,
yeah,
we can just throw my stuff out sometimes, I think,
Yeah.
Yeah. So much more learning happens.
Right.
And it's fun.
Fun for them and fun for us.
Right. And like we said, when you have those positive experiences along with learning, it just all clicks.
Right.
And they remember that for the rest of their lives. So great.
Yep. How about you, Myron? What are you thinking about? How does this look in your homeschool?
Yeah, there's a few different ways I see having fun in our day.
Yep.
Number one, my ideal fun day would be to get out and do things, do an adventure. And that, to me, that's often outside.
Yeah.
And exploring.
Yep.
So, and those kind of trips, the things when we do that kind of stuff, I do not normally have an agenda or anything. And it's scary to do that because then I think, well, what have my kids actually learned today? And I can't always write it down even. I don't know what they learned.
Yeah.
But they've learned a lot.
Yeah.
They learned so much. And I don't always see it that day. I don't always see it that week, but I see it after years. I can see it now. The things we did years ago are like affecting who they are as people now and the way they approach learning.
Right.
And so, doing those adventures it's taught my kids to be curious and to try things they might not have always tried, might not normally try. It's taught them to test things, like ask a question. It's like the scientific method, basically, like test a guess that they've, a question that they've asked.
Yep.
They guess the answer and they try it out.
Yeah.
They're like, and like, for example, my son loves throwing things down the river, sticks and, leaves and whatever. And that seems like, oh my goodness, we have so many other things to do today. You can do one of those and that's it. And now we need to move on. But in his mind, he is asking a question like, what's going to happen when I put this heavy branch in the river? How far is it going to go? Which direction is it going to go? There's just so many questions and answers you can find in just throwing things down the river.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's just, I see wheels turning.
You couldn't ask for a better experience. You couldn't ask for a better quote unquote science lesson.
Right. And here's where I'm saying, like, that wasn't extra work for me I didn't plan any of that,
Yeah.
I didn't plan for him to be excited about throwing things down the river.
You didn't say, okay, everybody, we're going to throw things out into the river now. We're going to try something light. We're going to try something heavy. You didn't say that.
No, yeah, exactly. We're going to write it down in a graph.
Yeah.
And we're going to have we're going to synthesize afterwards. Or, which I think those are all great things. We don't always need to name them those, but we can have a great conversation afterwards too. But so those kind of things, you might not see the learning happen even necessarily because they might be doing that, 20 feet behind you while you're on a hike.
For sure.
And they're doing something. Their mind is going.
Yeah.
And they're learning something and you have no idea.
Right. That is so good. And I think this is something I'm trying to get better at this year. And in fact, my oldest is in 8th grade. So I've got 8th, 6th, and 4th.
Yes.
And I'm just realizing, oh my gosh, time is fleeting. I don't have that many years left with her. I don't even know if she's going to homeschool next year. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. What if this is my last year? Oh my gosh, I got to make it fun. Now's the time to do all the fun things.
Well, that's great because I think a lot of times And I feel like I may get there at some point. When it comes to high school, I feel like, oh my goodness, I need to get my kids ready for high school. We have to do all the work now.
Oh, really?
So I'm glad. It's great. It's good for me to hear that you are thinking the most important thing is to, have those memories.
Yeah.
Make more memories this year.
Yeah, I feel like she'll be in high school. She'll be ready. She'll be getting ready for it while she's in it. I don't know.
True.
I'm not really worried about getting ready for it.
Yeah,
Maybe I should be. I don't know. But
it's like you're, having fun, and we called it having fun, but it's so much, it's like finding joy and feeling fulfilled and all those kind of things, I think, is what we're kind of talking about here. But when you're able to do that, that's kind of like this foundation. That is like this, the rock that learning happens on. So when we're providing that for our kids, learning is just going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't have to spend years on a topic that could just take like a few months, maybe.
Right. For sure. Yeah. And I think for someone like me, my personality, I need to schedule these things. I think for someone like you are very much fly by the seat of your pants, spontaneous. You'll, at 10 o'clock in the morning, you'll be like, guess what? We need to get out. Let's go. And that is harder for me.
Yeah.
That's harder for me. And so for someone like me, I do need to schedule it, and not just and by schedule, I schedule it the day before, or like at the beginning of the week.
Yeah,
I'm not like
right.
scheduling out ahead, but also I need to leave lots of time for adventures, because if your day is filled with, appointment and a co-op and then a band lesson and whatever, you're not going to have time for that. You're not going to fit it in.
Right.
And
it's
so
true.
you got to leave lots of white space for those things to just happen.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, sometimes these fun adventures don't seem very efficient. like we were just talking about, if, learning is more efficient when you're having fun. It doesn't seem efficient because you're driving, you're getting all the stuff ready.
Packing a lunch.
You're packing a lunch. Kids are fighting. But let me just tell you, all of that is learning. Packing a lunch is learning.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we just had one of our friends today just posted about they did poetry tea time at their house.
Mm-hmm.
And which I think is so great. Julie Bogart set up this great, such a great idea where you read poems, you have tea and maybe a treat or whatever. And that can seem inefficient because it's like a chunk of your day.
You got to bake the brownies.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But it was so great. She was talking about how her daughter made this bread and, they made tea together. Think of all the connections. Think of all the planning that they did for that.
Yeah.
And the following directions of the recipe, and they set the table. And I think all of that is it's just such good learning. It's such effective learning.
Right.
And it takes time. Learning takes time.
It takes time, but it's a good memory for connection. And I bet, it would seem that just, hey, let's read a couple poems here quick. Mm-hmm. That would take less time. That might take 10 minutes.
Right.
But to do this poetry tea time, it might take a couple hours.
Right.
So, but I bet your kids will remember those poems.
Absolutely.
because of the memory and the connection that goes along with them, because they remembered making the brownies, they remembered setting the table or whatever.
So true.
Yeah,
so true.
Yep.
And those are the foundational things that learning all takes place upon.
Yep.
Angela, what else does fun look like to you in your homeschool?
Okay, so Julie Bogart has a phrase like "stop if there's crying."
Yes.
And I love that so much. Mm-hmm. And I think we should expand that to be like, stop when it's not working, when somebody's not happy, when somebody's annoyed with you, when there's negative feelings, whatever negative feelings are going on, stop.
Yeah.
And be okay with that. Set it aside for the day, move on to something different. Hey, everybody, you know what? Let's just meet on mom's bed and we're going to watch a documentary.
Yes.
That is okay to do that. And that's great. That's actually, it's efficient. to do that.
I mean, it's like a pressure valve. It's like opening a pressure valve.
Yeah.
And you need to do that. I mean, otherwise it's just builds up and it's
right.
icky.
Right. So I guess that is not something I schedule. It's not something that is at all planned, but it is something that I try and do often because I do not want them to have negative feelings associated with homeschooling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
I love that.
How about you, Maren? Anything else for you?
Yeah. Well, I like to use music a lot in our
Oh,
homeschool, and oftentimes it's just in the background.
Okay.
It just lightens the mood. It really does.
Yeah.
For us. When there's dead silence behind talking, it's sometimes hard for me. And sometimes when I turn on music, everyone else just kind of quiets down too.
And so I have to ask because, music is not my strong suit. And I know we did a whole episode on music way back in the beginning.
I know.
We
should do another one.
I know. We should do another one. But what kind of music are you putting on in the background? Because here's my problem. Yep. If I'll put on music, then I have kids going, oh, can I put my favorite song in the queue? Can I put my favorite song in the queue?
Oh, yeah. No.
And then they're all kind of like at the computer waiting for adding all their favorite songs.
So, there's a time for that. Yeah. There is a time for that, but I often just put on, when I say, well, this is just background music, I get to pick this one. And I usually pick a chill music station, like a radio, a station. So it's not a playlist.
Okay.
It's not pre-picked out or anything. It's just a station. So chill music is great because it's very repetitive. It's repetitive and this like kind of electronic beat. And so it's really inviting for the kids. They love that it's not like old time repetitive music or whatever. It's like, it's new. Like it's stuff they would like to listen to. It's just, there's no words to it.
Okay. I have no idea what you're talking about. So
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Chill.
It's yeah.
Okay. Where are you getting this playlist?
Well, we get it from Apple Music.
Okay. And what's the station called? Like,
it's chill.
Chill.
It's chill
it's
radio.
Called chill radio. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there are.
I'm sure it's on Spotify and
on
Pandora.
Spotify, Pandora, everything. Yeah. I'm sure. And yeah, it's great because it's kind of like dance. It's like dance music, but it's just toned down. It's like
right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's great for backgrounds. Okay. Background working.
Do you ever have anybody complain about that?
No.
It's so great.
Yeah, and I think number one, I just turn it on without saying anything, and so sometimes people don't even notice that it's there.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
A lot of times, or it's pretty quiet, so it's just
right. Okay.
And then it's also we do have times where kids get to pick the music too.
Okay.
So it's it's both. Okay. So then also I listen to jazz. I put jazz music on a lot.
Oh, okay.
Like classic jazz music.
Classic jazz. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wrote that down.
Yep. Write it down. Those are the things for sure. Oh, and then just sometimes classical.
Oh, okay.
My kids do sometimes complain about classical music. But
okay. I think because you've always been so good at this, that you putting it on in the background
is like no big deal.
It's not a big production. Like when I put music on, it's like, oh, Mom's putting music on. This is a big deal. Let's listen and
might
see
be
what
that
it
way. It might be that way for a while. But if you did it every day for a week or a month, it wouldn't be a big deal anymore.
Great idea.
Yeah, and you will like it.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it. So, yeah. And then also, I mean, we do like to turn up the music too, at times. When we are having a hard time, if there's, sometimes it's just playing loud music and dancing or whatever is what we need to do.
Yeah, right.
Changes the mood.
Right. I love it.
Yep. How about you? Is there anything else you do or that you see in your house that is fun?
Well, I guess the main thing that I do that I'm trying to get better at is I try and cut out the boring curriculum. Yeah. Because nobody really likes it. And I try and find a different way to teach or experience the thing that we're trying to experience that's not boring for us.
Amen.
So, I feel like because we started doing Brave Writer in the last few years, I feel like that has really helped all the language arts. That
So
is
great.
no
Yep.
longer boring.
Awesome.
That's really exciting and fun. And then math, my kids enjoy math, but I try not to do too many. This is just getting practical. Not too many problems.
That's great though. Yep.
Not too many problems. Just enough, or I try and change it up a lot. And I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine with not sticking with one program for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm okay with changing things up because I get bored of things too after a while.
Yeah, right.
So I'm okay with that. And then other things like I try and add things into reading aloud. Like maybe we read aloud about history. Maybe it's a historical fiction, which is really exciting. And it's an exciting way to learn history rather than reading about the facts.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
So things like that. And I'm not perfect or great at this, but I am every year getting better and better. Like, oh yeah, we don't have to do that thing just because.
Yeah.
Just because I've always thought you have to do that. You don't have to do that.
Yeah. And I think I also used to think, well, there's a lot of things I can make fun, and then there are a lot of things I just can't make fun.
Oh, yeah.
And we just have to get through them. But I'm realizing as I get older, actually, we don't have to do the not fun things. It's okay if they don't learn everything.
Yeah.
They'll learn it someday in the way they're ready.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Or I keep thinking like, oh, we can do that when they're older. And then my kids keep getting older and I don't know.
Sometimes they just learn it.
Sometimes they just learn it really quickly and you're like, oh, well, great. Thanks.
Yes. Another thing that I think you do especially well, I've watched you do this over the years is, well, something you haven't done. You don't micromanage your kids, I don't think. And I think that's so key to having a positive experience homeschooling.
Okay.
And having fun. It's not fun to be micromanaged. It's just not.
Are you talking about, first of all, thank you. Second of all,
take the compliment.
Second of all, when are you talking about? Because I don't know if I do this. Are you talking about like with school specifically?
I think with school, yeah. But I think in everything. I mean, I think it's just a lifestyle for you where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about, I want some things clean in our house, and then some areas I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry too much. Or, like I want you to clean the bathroom, but I'm not going to get in there and be like, like you're not, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I try and like teach them how to do things or like empower them to do it well or to do it themselves and then try and stay out of the way when they do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Like cooking a meal.
Yeah. Yes.
Or cleaning or doing their work or practicing an instrument or whatever. You're right. I do.
You do
try to do that. Yeah.
Yep. And even though I know that you want to have a clean kitchen, like it's important to you.
Yes, I do.
It's so important to you, and yet you are so good at just hands off when your kids need to clean up and they haven't. You're like, well, it's just gonna sit there then.
Yeah, you should see my pantry right now. It is not pretty, and it really bothers me.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, our kids don't learn from the micromanaging. They learn from just the experience of it all.
Right, and being empowered to do it on their own.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think what's more powerful is being thankful after they do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I'm so glad. Yay.
Yes.
You did it. It looks great.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So you do a great job of that. And I think that keeps homeschool fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, because when you're feeling like, oh, I'm never living up to these things, it's real hard to have a positive attitude and feel like you're enjoying yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, those were some great things. And I would really love to hear from all of you if you have any other ways that you are keeping homeschool fun or making it fun in your family. Please let us know, because this is an ongoing it's an ongoing struggle for me. I don't want to use the word struggle. It's an ongoing challenge goal for me. And like I said, I'm trying every year to get better and better at it. But from some of you who have been doing this a while, I would love to hear your tricks or your tips or ways that you make it more fun.
Simple ways to make homeschool fun every day.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear those too, for sure. All right, let's move on to loving this week.
Yeah.
Angela, what are you loving this week?
Okay, I am loving a new dish soap.
Ooh.
Because, okay, here's the deal. I buy dish soap on Amazon. And I want to buy the natural stuff. Because
of course,
I want to. And so, but here's what happens. And I think I haven't figured out this part about part of Amazon yet. But there's like Prime Pantry.
Yes.
Do you do that?
I've never done it because I think you have to get a certain amount.
I know.
Yeah.
And some items, like household items, like dish soap and toilet paper and whatever, you can only get on Prime Pantry.
Oh, really?
And so I always try and search for the things that aren't on Prime Pantry, and it's really annoying. And so anyway, it's complicated. It's complicated. And maybe some of you have figured out Prime Pantry. It's real easy. You can let me know. But I have not figured this out.
DM us.
But so I found a dish soap that isn't on Prime Pantry, but it's Prime. And it's all natural.
Winner. Oh, awesome.
And it's like sulfate-free, paraben-free, and it smells good. That's my favorite part about it. It's called Puracy dish soap.
Wow.
Yeah, I got it on accident one time because I was like, well, I'll get this because there's nothing else I can find. And I've never heard of it, but I just got it. And I love it. There's the flavor, the scent I like is green tea and lime.
Ooh.
It smells so good.
Great.
And so it's my new favorite. I love it so much. So if you wash dishes, which I know you do, you should try it.
What size does it come in? Just wondering.
Okay, so I'm just going to guess it's like 16 ounces, I'm going to guess.
Okay. So not a huge container.
No, and they have refills. So you can you can get the 16 ounce thing. It came in a 3-pack, but then you can get a refill pack.
Oh, that's nice.
So you just refill your bottle.
That's really ideal.
I know. For sure.
Because I have something huge. I don't know if it's from Costco. I'm guessing it's from Costco.
Oh, really? Okay.
a big thing, yeah. Of some environmentally friendly dish soap, but I don't know. I don't know what's in it, actually, to be honest. And it's so huge, and so
now this is getting picky, but the huge ones, they're kind of like hard to handle.
They are. They're even hard to put in my little dispenser.
Oh,
they're even hard to
you
get
have
in
a
there.
Dispenser. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, just like a pump. I mean, it's just like I just bought a separate pump so I could not have the big thing on my counter.
Yeah. I just keep now my little bottle of Puracy on the counter, and that's pretty. I like it.
Yeah.
So you should try it.
That is great.
Okay, Marin, what are you loving this week?
Okay, so this is kind of out of character for me because I like to tell people about my healthy things that I've tried, and I've been working so hard on cutting out all the stuff. Guess what? I found something that is so bad for you.
McDonald's?
But it's so delicious. It is amazing.
What is it?
So it's ice cream bars.
Oh, yeah.
From Costco, actually. Kirkland Signature.
Okay.
Chocolate almond dipped vanilla ice cream bars. Oh my goodness.
So does it come on a stick like a popsicle?
Yeah.
I'm picturing it.
Okay, so this is also out of character for me because I actually don't even really love ice cream. It's not my weakness at all. A lot of weaknesses. Yeah. That's not one of them. But this is amazing. I have heard Kirkland Signature has good ice cream. I'd never had it before though. But I've heard just people have raved about it. And anyway, so I got these bars. And they're just it's like a dream.
Wow.
So good. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I am surprised because
I know.
Surprisingly, you don't like ice cream, which is just
I don't
the oddest
like
thing I've ever heard.
I know. I know. Well, I like a lot of unhealthy things, but it's like ice cream is just not the thing that I like crave ever.
So interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if I can't try them, but I bet my family would like them.
They will love them.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We loved having you. And you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Homeschool Unrefined. We also have a closed Facebook group we would love to have you join. It's called Unrefined Homeschoolers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just search for it there, and then you can answer just a question and to get into the group. And then we have a website, homeschoolunrefined.com, where you can find links to everything that we talked about. And we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Homeschool Unrefined was created by Maren Gorse and Angela Sizer. Thanks to Gambler's Daughter for providing the music for our show. You can find Gambler's Daughter at facebook.com/gamblersdaugghtermusic.